The Nissan LEAF, arguably the first mainstream electric vehicle of the 21st century, is all new for 2018, sporting less eccentric looks than its predecessor while using a more powerful motor and offering better EV range. New driver assist technologies have been added too, including a unique e-pedal system that will change the way you drive. The EV game is all about numbers, so to better understand Nissan's strategy one must consider 5 key metrics, starting with 41. That's the distance in kilometers the average Canadian driver travels on a daily basis, according to Statistics Canada. 41 kilometers. That's it. Consequently, Nissan developed the new LEAF with 241 kilometers of range on a full charge. Determined by the EPA south of the border, this number represents a significant improvement over the outgoing model's 172 kilometers. When you do the math, you realize that a typical commuter could make pretty much 6 two-way trips from home to work in a 2018 Nissan LEAF before needing to plug it in. Still have range anxiety now? The LEAF's new powertrain not only results in better range, but also livelier performance. Consider these other numbers, 40 and 110. The former refers to the 5th generation lithium-ion battery's capacity, which is rated at 40 kilowatt-hours, while the latter indicates the output in kilowatts generated by the electric motor, equal to 147 horsepower. For comparison's sake, the old LEAF had a 30 kilowatt-hours battery and an 80 kilowatts, 107 horsepower, motor. You can bet acceleration is now quicker, with roughly 8 seconds required to reach 100 kilometers per hour from a standstill versus 10 seconds previously. The final number worth emphasizing is $35,998. That's the starting price of a base 2018 Nissan LEAF S, a bump of $2,000 from 2017. The mid-grade SV model jumps $2,200, while the price increase for the top-line SL is more reasonable at $1,450. Freight and delivery charges remain unchanged at $1,990. All of the above serves to paint a clearer picture of where the 2018 Nissan LEAF fits in a market segment that will expand quickly and substantially based on recent announcements by EV manufacturers. Right now, it is positioned between the Hyundai IONIQ Electric and Chevrolet Bolt EV. The Korean rival is cheaper at $31,999, but its range is limited to 200 kilometers. Meanwhile, our reigning Green Car of the Year costs a lot more, $43,095, yet it boasts a more potent engine, 150 kilowatts, and allows a range of 383 kilometers. Nissan thus claims the new LEAF represents a best-of-both-worlds solution. Of course, performance is only part of the equation. When it comes to styling, Nissan listened to customers and eliminated that polarizing saurian-like nose flanked by a pair of bulging eyes. The Star Wars-inspired dashboard is gone, as well. The new Nissan LEAF sports a more elegant and mature look, a sign that EVs no longer have to be different to draw interest and gain acceptance. The drive can be just as pleasant as an ordinary car too. This observation is supported by the finely tuned and beautifully heavy electromechanical steering, plus a suspension system that delivers a smooth ride without it feeling too soft. Since the 2018 Nissan LEAF is essentially the same size as the old one, interior space hasn't changed. The front quarters are roomy, while the rear bench seat is more ideally suited to a couple of children, especially if long-legged adults sit up front. Again, the steering column offers tilt adjustment, but nothing in terms of depth. SV and SL models now feature a 7-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility as standard, though base S models make do with a less sophisticated 5-inch display. As for cargo, the aforementioned rear seat doesn't fold completely flat like the IONIQs, and you can't fit as much stuff in the LEAF as in a Bolt EV, 849L versus 1602L, but the trunk's opening was smartly designed, making it easy to load big and cumbersome items. Those familiar with the LEAF will also notice that the charge port now resides higher and is more upright, facilitating the plug-in process. It's time to talk about 3 other innovations of the 2018 Nissan LEAF. The first and the most important is the e-pedal system, which lets you accelerate, brake and even immobilize the car using only one pedal. As soon as you ease off the gas pedal, regenerative braking kicks in. And when you completely remove your foot from the throttle, the LEAF slows down to a stop and remains stable, even on a hill, until you apply pressure again. The e-pedal is so effective and user-friendly that Nissan claims you could rely on it 90% of the time. In fact, our test drive confirmed it. This system is fortunately not as aggressive as the BMW i3's, and it's also a lot more intuitive than similar setups in the iONIQ and Bolt EV. The 2018 Nissan LEAF introduces a technology called ProPilot, available on SV and SL trims. It allows you to follow the car ahead at a preset distance or stay centered in your lane without any intervention. However, the markings on the road need to be clear for the cameras to detect them and the system to work properly. Also, you can't totally let go of the steering wheel. Nissan says that ProPilot reduces stress and makes driving easier and more pleasant, but based on our experience, this is an overstatement. There's one more upgrade you should feel happier about: a portable charge cable with 120V and 240V options that comes standard with the new LEAF. It's easy to use, plus you no longer need to install a dedicated charging station at home, just a 240V power outlet similar to the one you plug your oven or dryer into. Until we get a LEAF with a 60 kWh battery, which should come in about a year or two to seriously challenge the Chevy Bolt EV, this new 2018 model remains closer to Hyundai's iONIQ. Both work great as a household's second car for running errands, driving the kids to their Boy Scout meetings, visiting grandma and so on. This makes the LEAF a natural substitute for the gasoline-powered Nissan Versa Note, which is somewhat the same size. Given the range, the 2018 Nissan LEAF won't be your first choice for long trips, say the 256 km trek from Montreal to Quebec City. It's still possible, but you'd have to be not in a rush and prepared to make 1 or 2 stops along the way to charge the battery. Using a DC fast charge station, 400 feet, 30 minutes would give you 142 kilometers of range, and 40 minutes would increase it to 169. Finding such a station that's not being utilized by someone else precisely when you need it could pose a problem, however. Further evidence that the new LEAF is an EV primarily designed for the urban life.
Nissan announced today that the company has sold and delivered its 300,000th Nissan LEAF globally, the best-selling electric vehicle cumulatively to date. Nissan Executive Vice President Daniel Schillaci commented on the announcement, "These numbers prove that the Nissan LEAF remains the most advanced car in the world, with the widest reach and the greatest availability." The new Nissan LEAF is the icon of Nissan intelligent mobility because it delivers an even more exciting drive and enhanced ownership experience and contributes to a better world. It will take Nissan's EV leadership even further. The new Nissan LEAF is currently being delivered in Japan and is slated for deliveries in January in the US, Canada and Europe. It will eventually be sold in more than 60 markets worldwide.
According to Autocar, the next-generation Subaru WRX is due to arrive in 2020, and will likely stray away from the model's historical combination of a flat-4 gasoline engine with a symmetrical all-wheel drive system. It's no surprise to anyone that Subaru's VIZIV performance concept, which debuted at the Tokyo Motor Show, is a thinly veiled preview of the next WRX. Company design chief Mamoru Ishii told Autocar that feedback on the car's appearance has been quite positive, indicating that not much may change between the concept car and the next WRX. Then again, quite a bit changed between the 2013 WRX concept that people generally liked and the current WRX that debuted in 2015. Where the concept was smooth and sleek with coupe-like bodylines, the actual car was rather different and criticized at first for too closely resembling a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, one of its closest competitors at the time. Styling aside, the most controversial potential change in the WRX would be the move away from its traditional drivetrain. Though the standard model's FA20 engine offers good performance with excellent fuel economy, the EJ25 of the WRX STI is an old design. Its 305 horsepower is below the competition and easily matched by a standard WRX with a downpipe and tune, while its 17 city/22 highway fuel economy is downright awful by modern standards. STI emissions, while they meet US standards, are rather high by European standards, which is a part of the reason Subaru dropped the STI in the UK. With performance, fuel economy, and emissions in need of improvement, Subaru is looking to what is now a tried-and-true solution, hybrid power, which has come a long way since this parody Toyota Prius racing set commercial. Hybrids tuned for performance provide a great deal of low-end torque, something Subaru's FA20 engine has been criticized for lacking. With the next WRX using Subaru's new global platform, it would be easy to add hybrid hardware to an architecture already designed to support it. The current WRX is already tuned for a more performance-oriented driving experience than the Impreza. From behind the wheel, it's hard to tell they share a platform. This could continue to be the case with how each car's hybrid system is programmed. While the Impreza can be tuned for smoothness and fuel economy, the WRX can emphasize performance. Design chief Ishii told Autocar, "Four-wheel drive is critical to the power and performance levels our customers expect, but on the engine, we have more freedom." He may have only been referring to the addition of a hybrid drivetrain, but his comments also allow for the possibility of an engine other than Subaru's traditional flat four. Though some have speculated that this is what's happening, so far Subaru has given no reason to believe any change other than a hybrid system will occur. I suspect that when we finally see exactly what the next Subaru WRX will be, our collective reaction will be something like Doctor Who's hero said just after regenerating from his fifth to the sixth incarnation, "Change, my dear, and not a moment too soon."